As fall fills up with activities and obligations, even a small time saver can feel like a big help. Grammarly is an all-in-one writing tool that makes clear, concise communication easier than ever, so you can finish your work earlier and head off to family dinners, social events, and fall weddings. Grammarly is free to download and works where you do, so every project gets finished quicker. Make sure your writing is free of mistakes with Grammarly's free, comprehensive writing suggestions and get an instant take on how your message comes across with the free tone detector. Let Grammarly Premium's sentence clarity rewrites help you find the perfect words on the first try. You'll be confident writing client emails, deadline-driven reports, and presentations without staying late at the office. Get more time back in your day by writing with Grammarly. Go to Grammarly.com/podcasts to sign up for a free account. Then get 20% off when you're ready to upgrade to Grammarly Premium. That's Grammarly.com/podcasts.
Did you know 77% of women who wear bladder weakness products experience intimate skin irritation?
As if having incontinence wasn't stressful enough.
But Tena Intimate Pads have been gynecologist tested and do not cause skin irritation.
Gentle on my intimate skin. I need to try Tena Intimate Pads.
Visit TenaSample.com for your free sample. Kind to skin. Protects like Tena.
Settling is not an option for me. Everything I desire is already mine. What if you can have it all? Because every day is for the girls.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of For the Girls. I'm your host, Victoria Alario. And today we are talking about the art of honesty. Using honesty in our conversations to increase our communication skills, boost our confidence, better articulate ourselves. I believe that bending the truth or sugarcoating things comes from a lack of confidence because you just can't look someone in the face or you just can't say 100% how you truly feel. But this topic came to mind because of a brutally honest message I had to send someone the other day. And I was thinking about how so many people are very, I don't want to say offended, but are very like, ooh, they get awkward and uncomfortable when they see you being super honest to somebody else. So it came to be because I was texting with a guy and some situation came up on his end that I had to be like, you know what, I'm just going to tell this guy straight up 100% like what my standards are, what I look for, what I tolerate, what I don't tolerate. And we've only been on one date before. So I would pretty much never be this upfront in stating all of these things with someone that I've only met one time, because I believe that you should get to know people and you should develop understanding each other's standards and expectations and things. And I don't believe that you need to lay all your cards out on the table on day one. And I also don't believe that it is necessary, because you're simply just seeing even if you would get along with someone on the surface on date number one, where we don't even have to think about long-term things at that point. It's even just to see in this date if we can tolerate each other. Like, that's as much as it needs to go. But we did have a good time on the date. And so when this situation came up afterwards, I said, okay, like, well, I already have established that we had a good time. We can tolerate each other, and the surface level stuff was great. But there's something that I'm going to have to say if we're even going to think about seeing each other again. So I sent a very long message that full-blown, like, stated things that I will not deal with. And I said in that message, like, I've been single forever and I have no problem remaining single until I find someone who can tick all of my boxes and check off all of these things. So I'm being this brutally, like, honest up front to spare us wasting each other's time. Like, it's not only for me, but it's also for you, because if I'm not the girl for you, then you can just reply to this message and, like, let me know then we're not going to work, and that could be that. So even though it was a long, like, message that states things that we really didn't need to talk about yet. It had to come up because of something that I've seen. At that point, it was just like, well, this could be a deal breaker. Like, I could potentially not even go on a second date with you, even though I really enjoyed my time. So, you know, I stated in that message, like, don't be alarmed. Like, I don't normally like have these types of conversations with someone this quickly, but I have to lay it all out there because this potentially would be maybe, I don't want to say necessarily a whole entire red flag, but it could be something that would turn me off from seeing someone again in like my usual dating life. So when I sent the screenshots of the message to my friends, 2 of my friends were like, oh my God, like that was so extra. That was like so much. I wouldn't have said even half of that, like yada, yada, yada. And I was saying to them, like, but I don't have anything to lose by being honest with this person. You can't possibly scare off the right people who are meant to be in your life by being honest with them. Like, honesty or being that direct and that straightforward with anyone who is meant to be in your life will only help the situation rather than hurt the situation. It all is also very important to note that you have to be kind in the way that you are honest. Like, don't deliver your messages being a total asshole, even just because you want to be honest. There's ways to say things. So, you know, be mindful of the way that you talk. There's something called a compliment sandwich that I've learned in my business, which is you start off the message with a positive note, like a compliment, and then you give the critiquing in the middle and tell them like what's not going to work or whatever the case is that's not okay. And then you end it with a compliment as well. So it's literally a compliment sandwich. So I kind of like to format my honest messages that way to make someone understand, like, I'm not trying to be harsh on you. It's just like, this is not going to work for me. So moral of the story is, my friends who were like, oh my God, that was so extra, and like, you know, I wouldn't have said all that, or I wouldn't have done all that. I'm like, yeah, well, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't be that upfront with someone with because of a fear of like scaring them off. And I simply don't have that fear. So that's where that confidence comes into play. Like I was saying, being totally honest and practicing honesty really does boost your confidence, because you'll totally go into it with a mindset of like, okay, well, take it or leave it. Like, I'm not afraid to lose you. I know who I am. I know my value. I know my worth. So if it scares you off, then it scares you off. And that's not going to do anything wrong to me. That's not going to make me insecure, because I am confident in who's meant to be in my life will be. And so he replied to that message, literally like taking it so well, like very receptive to what I said, while also being like understanding and acknowledging and not like deflecting, like total accountability, total ownership, when I honestly wasn't sure which direction it was going to go. And for someone who is not in their masculine, I could totally see them getting offended, because if you all have listened to my episode on the difference between masculine and feminine energy, then you will know that the toxic masculine has an ego problem, and they get defensive and things like that because, you know, it's a toxic masculine. It's their weak side. It's like there is no divine masculine in that part. Like, it's a very weak, lacking divine masculine energy. So for me, it was really like, I don't want to say impressive. It's not like, oh my God, so crazy, but it was very nice and reassuring to see someone totally in their divine masculine take accountability and own it, rather than have that like ego, like going off and going crazy and like defending themselves. It was like, no, you know what? I really appreciate this feedback, which is part of the feminine energy. So I got to really tap into my feminine energy, which, if you know the divine feminine traits, it is, you know, supporting a partner or supporting your people and being there for them, whether it is like good or bad. It is, yes, giving like feedback in a way to people and like telling them what you think or how they can improve or anything of the sort. And that is literally part of the feminine. So the whole conversation dynamic, me giving the message and him responding well to the message, was like a true example of divine feminine and divine masculine making like a very beautiful moment out of simply honesty. And so, long-winded story short, to cut it here, that is what inspired this, because I believe honesty is what helps people get exactly what they want in life. And you do not get whatever you don't ask for, and you can only ask if you are honest with your feelings. A lot of girls will always say certain things like, I've been in this relationship for 6 months and he's still doing something that blah, blah, blah. Or I've been talking to this guy for a year and we're still a situationship and we've made no progress. And it's like, well, these are things that would only find a solution, or that would only, come to the reality that you want them to if you open your mouth and communicate honestly. But if you are so sugarcoating and downplaying and wanting to be that chill person who just goes with the flow, then you're not going to receive the things that you want, because you're simply not making them clearly known and clearly stated. And trust me when I say, in that message I sent, the things that I want were very clearly stated, and the things that I will not tolerate were also very clearly stated. So I'm not someone who will find myself in a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 12-month situationship where things are confusing and up in the air, because I have to make my feelings known in order to receive what I want. And I want you all to realize too, like, it's not only by putting the ball into that person's court to like give them the upper hand and saying to them like, hey, here's what I want, like, can you deliver? It's not exactly that. It's more or less just like making your feelings and desires known to the universe in general, because the more that you state what you want shamelessly, the more likely you will receive it. There are so many people who know the things that they want, but they feel a little bit of shame about them, or embarrassment about them, or like they're not worthy of them, or like, oh, I don't get that thing. That's for girls like her, not girls like me. So then, yeah, the reality is that you'll never receive it. And we have to remember that every single thing that we talk about and state out loud are things that the universe will begin like cooking up for you, like we might not see it happening right now, but we can't see the universe working for us. So there are things happening all around us and happening to us as we speak. And then over time is when the results finally begin to show up, but they're only going to show up if you make them known off the bat. There are so many guys that you will talk to or date that you will not get what you're looking for because you're just not making it known. So if you want to get those things that you deeply desire, then you have to make it known.
As fall fills up with activities and obligations, even a small time saver can feel like a big help. Grammarly is an all-in-one writing tool that makes clear, concise communication easier than ever, so you can finish your work earlier and head off to family dinners, social events, and fall weddings. Grammarly is free to download and works where you do, so every project gets finished quicker. Make sure your writing is free of mistakes with Grammarly's free, comprehensive writing suggestions, and get an instant take on how your message comes across with the free tone detector. Let Grammarly Premium's sentence clarity rewrites help you find the perfect words on the first try. You'll be confident writing client emails, deadline-driven reports, and presentations without staying late at the office. Get more time back in your day by writing with Grammarly. Go to Grammarly.com/podcasts to sign up for a free account. Then get 20% off when you're ready to upgrade to Grammarly Premium. That's Grammarly.com/podcasts.
I want to play a TikTok video that I posted a while ago, a couple months ago, and it's about like a 2-minute video, so just bear with me while I talk through it, because when I post my TikToks, I don't even really know where I'm going with it. I just start rambling, and it's about this entire topic, the art of honesty. So listen up.
So I preach a lot on communication, and I do so because to me, communicating comes easily and effortlessly to me, and quite frankly, very obviously to me. Why? Because I'm a very honest person, and I believe that the art of honesty, practicing honesty, increases your communication skills by 100. Why? 100%, I guess I should say. By 100%. Why? Because, all right, let's use this comment, obviously, for an example. She's saying, how do I tell this guy that's a fuck no, like he's a fuck no to her, that I don't want to go out again? He's nice, but man. So she's literally writing to me her honest feelings. I really don't want to go out again. He's nice, but she uses the word meh because, which isn't really a word, it's just sound, whatever. She's using meh because of her character limit. But if this was someone who was texting me with no limits, she would probably say, he's nice, but the chemistry isn't there. He's nice, but I'm just not feeling it. He's nice, but I don't think he's for me. So you would honestly tell this to me or to your friends, whoever you're texting, but then when it comes to communicating it with him, you ask, how do I tell him? This is where the obvious part to me comes in, because I would be like, this is how you tell him. You literally tell him, you're so nice, you're a great guy, but this just isn't for me. I'm sorry, I don't want to go out again and waste your time. So I don't know how else to tell anybody anything. I don't do cryptic messages. There's such a toxic behavior with communication that people don't know how to say this or how do I say this. If you have no problem saying it honestly to me, then you should have no problem articulating your words to them because you know how you feel. You're not confused about how you feel. You're certain on how you feel. If you were confused, you would be saying, I don't know how I feel about this guy. But instead, you're like, he's a fuck no for me. So you're dead set that you do not want to be with this guy. So why are you confused on how to communicate with him? Tell him no.
So before I continue on that topic, but staying on the area of honesty, let's talk about consulting with me, where I very honestly mentor, coach, and guide people to absolute greatness. So in my area of expertise, I am now taking on clients for consulting. These areas include network marketing or direct sales, influencer marketing or brand deals, discovering your brand, your aesthetic, your niche, social media and content creation, even if you've already established what your brand, niche, or aesthetic is, public speaking or communications, mindset, confidence, personal development, and leadership or team building, even outside of network marketing or direct sales. I've been having the best time working with my new clients, and I cannot wait to get to know more of you. So I'm going to share 2 messages that I received from 2 different clients giving me their feedback. One says, I definitely felt amazing after speaking with you. I went to the gym right after and had a killer workout and then listened to one of your podcasts. I have spent all day thinking about our conversation and it really made a difference already. It was easy to talk to you and it felt like I was chatting with a friend. I felt understood and the pieces you gave me really hit home. That same client actually messaged me the other day, sending me such a beautiful message about something that she did that was a little out of character for her, that made her feel so empowered and so free, and she just felt so good, and she was like, I had to share this with you. And all I could think about is that she is the strongest version of herself right now. She's already stronger than she's been since I had one session with her, and all I could say back to her was like, this has to feel amazing for you, being the most thriving, strongest version of yourself. And she totally agreed that she felt absolutely amazing. The other message that I want to share is I am feeling so empowered, inspired, and motivated after our call yesterday. I literally ran to my local craft store after our call and started painting again, and I haven't been able to paint since my grandmother passed away earlier this year. Thank you for helping me figure out the branding for Butterfly's Effect. You literally took the words out of my head when we were talking about the anonymous submission of stories and being their voice. I already have a calendar figured out of how I want next month's content to go, and even started editing my first podcast. I will 10,000% be recommending your consulting services to fellow business owners, influencers, and I will be scheduling another consulting appointment soon. And she did not lie, because she actually became my very first VIP client. So I have shared that I offer intro sessions at a low introductory rate. The link to that will be in the show notes. It's also in my bio on social media channels, TikTok, Instagram. And then after that first session, I do offer VIP consulting packages. And this lovely lady here did become one of my very first VIPs. And it has been amazing getting to know her and getting to help her. And I cannot wait to see the woman she becomes in the next few months. Now, let's get back to the topic of communicating honestly with people, especially when it comes to someone that you might not see the romantic connection with. What you have to understand is that people have to respect honesty and truth. There is no one on the planet who is bigger than the truth. So if you are being kind, like I said, compliment sandwich, compliment, feedback and criticism, compliment. If you go that route and constructively tell somebody like, listen, you are super nice. I had such a nice time with you, but I don't see a romantic connection between us. This is just simply not what I'm looking for right now, and I really don't want to waste your time. You are such a good guy, and somebody will be lucky to have you. There you go. That's a perfect example of a compliment sandwich. Then they simply have no choice but to respect that, because you did them the favor of preventing wasting their time. So many people anticipate a bad outcome and anticipate really hurting someone, so they try to avoid these things. But think about it like this. If they start to lash out and get offended and get all defensive and go off on you and start insulting you, then that is their own problem, and it has nothing to do with you. It is a personal battle that they are fighting right now. It is a personal insecurity that they have yet to overcome. It is that ego, that toxic masculinity that you simply don't even want in your life. So somebody who is that great guy that you're talking about would respect that you cut the cord now rather than later, because no one wants their time wasted. So it may hurt their feelings, but it'll hurt their feelings much less if you are honestly communicating with them today, rather than avoiding the truth and leading them on and continuing to see them. And then you hurt their feelings days, weeks, months down the line when you can't give them what they want, and you make them feel insecure, and you won't commit to them, and you are passive aggressive toward them. That is way more hurtful to someone than ending it before you could get there. Think about relationships or friendships that you've had in your life that should have never progressed past the beginning, and then they continuously go ahead and hurt you over and over and over again. And you're almost like, I just wish that we would have ended this from the beginning. I just wish that they would have told me that they don't like me enough from the day one. I wish that they would have told me from the beginning that they will never commit to me. You don't want someone who just wants you in their life out of the convenience of not being honest with them. So don't worry about outcomes, because the outcome will have nothing to do with you and 100% everything to do with them and their character. So if the outcome is great and they say thank you so much, or I totally understand, I get what you mean, great. It shows that they are a good, strong, confident person. If they lash out on you and go off on you, good again, great. It shows that they are a shit person that you dodged a bullet with. So either way, the outcome is everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. And all you can do is be honest with your feelings. And like I said in that video, if you can clearly articulate to your friends or to me, this guy is a fuck no, like there's not a chance, he's super nice, but meh, like I felt nothing, then you know how you feel. So it really shouldn't be hard to put that into maybe less harsh words to the person that it is about. So if you know how you feel, Don't be confused. Don't get it twisted. Let it be known. Here's how I feel, and there is no other way to cut it. And that is all I have for you today. So if you are looking to start doing consulting with me, click the link and fill out the form in my show notes. Click the link, fill out the form that's in my bio on Instagram or TikTok. It all leads to the same place. I look so forward to working with you all. And that's it for the Girls this week. Until next time, girls.
A train running express to the Bronx, the corridors of a Miami high school, the streets of Phoenix, Arizona, an elotero, family secrets, coming home, and a first love. Presented by Vive Healthcare, Love and Gravity is a new series starring Robin de Jesus, Harvey Guillen, Jessica Marie Garcia, Jason Janeo, Wilson Cruz, Carrie Martin Lashney, Kevin McHale, Eden Espinoza, and many more. New episodes released every Wednesday. Subscribe to be the first to listen.